So El, or Elohim, just means God. So a lot of the major king gods are unnamed gods. So like Zeus, that name just means God.
Okay, yeah.
From Deus, just means God. I think this is sort of like a respect thing. Like you must not be named sort of thing.
Which kind of carries over to like modern Christianity, if you think about it.
Yeah, we just call God, God.
Using the name of God, even if he has a name.
And we talked about in a previous episode, Elohim is the plural of El. Mm-hmm. Could mean gods, could mean spirits, because there's the council of Elohim, and it's like the council of spirits. But usually when it refers to El, it's the plural of majesty, so like the royal we.
Okay.
And the council of Elohim is a thing that shows up in Deuteronomy. And this is like the major verse people cite when they're like, oh, there's more than one God in the Bible.
Yeah.
So this is God set up the boundaries for the peoples according to the number of the sons of God. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob, his allotted inheritance. So Yahweh is given to the people of Jacob as their mascot God.
Okay.
So they all had different mascots back then, the different sort of factions.
Yeah, every city has its own god. And there's the 70 sons of El in Ugaritic text, which is very similar to the Council of Elohim. El is also called Elion, which means Most High, also called the Lord of Hosts, which is like a military term, like God of a whole bunch of army behind me.
Yeah, don't fuck with me. I got 1,000 men.
You also see El Shaddai show up in the Bible. It means God Almighty. I'm having a crazy Appalachian accent.
Yeah.
God Almighty, which is interesting because Zeus is also called Lord of or God of the hosts.
You know what? My Star Wars sense is pinging here because in Supernatural Encounters there was El Shaddam. There was a god called El Shaddam, which was the transformed version of Telatni, the mother goddess, into this like worm Ouroboros thing devouring its own tail. So I don't know if there's a connection there, but
I bet
the name has to come from this. Like when they picked out that name for that Star Wars godly thing, that has to be the reference directly there.
Absolutely. And here are some pictures of El with this.
It's got a very, is that a hat or is that like his hair?
It's a hat.
Okay. The one on the right, it kind of looked like he had his hair like
ponytail.
Yeah. Some kind of weird like cone head thing going on.
That's actually an Egyptian crown.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's that like white bowling pin crown thing.
It's the crown of Upper Egypt.
Ah.
And he's supposed to have a weapon in his hand. So that's called what's it called? Like the striking figure.
Oh.
It's a very common motif. And that's him on his throne.
It's sort of a power symbol. Like he will strike you.
Exactly. That's what you do to people lower than you. You just hit them.
Yeah.
Which does happen in the Iliad. Odysseus is just like hitting people with a stick.
To assert dominance. Yeah.
He's a menace.
Yeah.
And here are all the ladies. I'll tell you why they don't get their own slide in a second. I respect them. So Asherah is the queen god. She is the wife of El, the queen of heaven. She's also a goddess of fertility. She's always cupping her breasts.
Oh, okay.
She's just got to be doing that. Yeah. And she's sometimes the co-creator with El. And Astarte is like the Aphrodite figure, but she's also kind of like an Artemis figure because she's the goddess of love, sexuality, but also war. She's the Venus star. She's also associated with a bunch of animals. I wish I'd picked a different picture because there's one where she's like has two animals on either side of her, like she's holding them. Like
really,
she is. What's the phrase called? Where she's like in the lion tamer. That's not the phrase I was looking for, but like the master of nature.
Yeah.
So super powerful goddess. You might have heard Ishtar.
I do know Ishtar.
And she's the one, like the real origin of Easter. That's where that comes from.
That is true,
her
the
name
Easter.
Yeah, Ishtar, Easter. And there's Anat, who's the most badass goddess. She's kind of a combination of Athena, Artemis, and you don't know Sekhmet. It's a Egyptian goddess who is just bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
So she is the virgin warrior. So kind of like Athena. Yeah, just absolutely bloodthirsty. She's not really a warrior, more of a huntress. Because there's one text where she wants this really special bow that was gifted to this guy. And the guy's like, women don't go to war, they're for hunting. So you can't have this bow. So women can hunt.
So that was a distinction they made where it's not like just stay in the kitchen, but like if you're going to be powerful, like go benefit the tribe or the society and get the food for us, that kind of thing.
I think there is a very interesting association with archery and women and the moon. A bow kind of looks like the crescent moon.
That's true. I've never thought of it that way, but wow.
This is what my dissertation would be about.
Yeah.
And there in the Bible, there's a guy in the book of Judges called Shamgar, son of Anat. So he might have been a demigod.
Maybe.
And all of these women kind of converge into one goddess. So you can kind of see the similarities between Astarte and Anat. They're very war and hunt related. They're kind of also related to animals and like dominion over animals. And Asherah is the queen. So if another person were to become, I'm talking about Baal, if Baal was to become king of the gods, his wife would be queen of heaven. So that's why Astarte and Asherah are later on just squished together as the same goddess. Baal. His name just means Lord. So like in the Bible, the Lord has said whatever. In the Bible, Adonai is the name that's given, means Lord. Baal just means Lord. So every time you see Adonai or Adonai, you can just say, oh, Baal could be there.
So that's saying like we don't know if they might have been referring to this guy instead of like God as we think of him, or
I'm saying it's the same guy.
It's the same guy. Wow.
That's what I'm saying. So you kind of have your pick of what kind of Baal based on your city. So there, you know how there's like Malibu Barbie, there's Dr. Barbie, there's valedictorian tennis Barbie, there's wheelchair Barbie, all different types. It's all the same girl, but all different variations. So we have the Greek god Adonis comes from the word Adonai. So his name is also just Lord. There's Baal Hadad, which is the god from Ugarit. There's Baal Zephon, which is from Assyria. Baal Resheph, which is an Egyptian god, actually, the god of the plague. Baal Berith, which means Lord of the Covenant, which sounds an awful lot like the Abrahamic God making covenants.
That's true. Covenant is the word that I always think of straight from like Abraham,
Exactly. And Yah or Yahweh would have been like the Israel version of Baal. Kos would have been the Edomite version. And Shamash is the Moab version. And I already talked about like the capture of the flag sort of.
Yeah.
Like they're all the same God, but like when you destroy a city, you got to take their idol. Okay. And Melkart is the Tyrian god. So they're all the same, like sort of storm god. It's all different names. Oh,
Melkart is really interesting to me because it sounds like Melkor from Lord of the Rings lore, who is like the ultimate evil. Like before Sauron, there's Melkor or Morgoth, like the great dark before all things. So wonder if that was something Tolkien knew about.
It's possible. Oh, and the Queen song where it's like Beelzebub. I'm not going to sing, but the Beelzebub in the Queen song, he's considered a demon later. So that's why we have the exorcism cup.
So the name Beelzebub might be like a Baal-Zebub?
Baal-Zebulon.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
So, I've heard that translated as Lord of the Flies before.
It is.
Like that, there's a connection, like the book Lord of the Flies and Beelzebub. But I didn't know it came from like the Baal thing.
Yeah. So we don't know if the Lord of the Flies was an insult that the Israelites gave to, because he's a Philistine god. So that's their enemy. Or if it just meant like this was a plague god. So there's lots of plague gods in the ancient Near East. And Yahweh is actually a plague god.
Really?
Yes. Y'all have seen Indiana Jones. You know what the Ark of the Covenant does.
Yeah.
It'll mess you up.
Old Testament type stuff.
Yep. And maybe Horus of the Egyptian pantheon and Dionysus. Dionysus' name means son of God. Okay. So they might be also Baal figures. So yeah, he's a weather storm god associated with a mountain. So, Mount Sinai, gods live on the top of mountains in the ancient Near East. But he's also a warrior god, especially associated with archery. He has some solar connotations, and I'll show you a picture of wait. So if you look up at a gorgeous mountain, clouds come over the mountains. They bring rain that water your fields. they're good, but also they are kind of scary.
Yeah, that looks like a UFO. That looks like Independence Day.
Oh, this was the nice picture I picked.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But if you can imagine like a really big thunderstorm coming over,
Yeah. It'd be scary.
very loud, very much like swords clashing. What if it was also like over a volcano like this? Very scary.
Yeah, that's Lord of the Rings type
Yes.
stuff right there. Mount
Yeah.
Doom.
So he's associated with like nice agriculture. I'm going to reincarnate your crops and make sure you eat well, but I'm also going to mess some shit up if you make me mad.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Like most gods.
like most
That
gods,
seems to be the kind of God way
Yeah.
of doing things.
But sometimes, you know what happens with volcanoes sometimes?
They go boom.
They do. They sometimes extra go boom.
Oh, man, look at that.
So-
That's insane.
Yeah, sometimes lightning, like volcanoes are so hot, they will create their own lightning in the volcanic cloud. So you can imagine looking at this as a Bronze Age person and thinking, that's a god.
Yeah, you would
Yeah.
think no other thing,
Yes.
probably. You'd have no explanation for that. I always thought that, like, lightning, volcanoes, like, there always seems to be gods for those kind of things.
Absolutely.
And it makes sense to me because if you saw that in those times, what else would you think?
Crazy.
That's unexplained supernatural stuff.
And there are volcanoes in the region. So.
Okay, it makes sense. Yeah.
And because we're on the Mediterranean coast, remember I said there's no river there is a river, but not an important enough river to really change the landscape. But the Eastern Mediterranean gets really bad winter storms. And the storms will like build up on the mountains
Oh,
and then
okay.
like come over the mountains. So the geography creates gods.
Wow.
Interesting.
You know what else I know about volcanoes is, you know, the whole like wandering through the desert part of the Bible where it says they're guided by like a pillar of cloud and a
Yes.
pillar of flame.
Yes.
People think that's volcanoes, I think. I've
Could
heard that
be.
before, where like if you look at a volcano by day, it's like putting clouds out, but by night you can see the flame that's
Yeah.
coming up into the clouds. So
I also feel like
Interesting.
there was something with the Mount Sinai story. Like after Moses comes down from the mountain, I feel like there was some like image of lava coming down or something.
that sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
But I mean, I had to watch all those weird cartoons about all that stuff where they use lightsabers. So
Yes.
maybe it's just like an effect that they
Awesome.
added into that stuff.
Yeah. Baal, his name meaning Lord, could also mean prince. So he is the perpetual prince that is about to become king.
Okay.
So, which is also a very common motif. Horus in the Egyptian pantheon kind of does the same thing. He's an ascending prince. So he's rising to become king. And you can kind of imagine this is important for mortal kings to be like, I am the son of God who's ascending in place of God. To kind of be the avatar of.
Pretty much, yeah.
So he kind of becomes El, the king god. So I don't know if there's like a reincarnation aspect to that or if there's just a very friendly usurpation.
Something happened there, yeah. Regime change.
We got to talk
the
about
bulls.
Moloch Baal.
Lockball bulls again.
So
Yes.
bulls come back.
Yeah, Baal is associated with bulls, the same as El. And Asherah is associated with cows. So they're all bovine. So have y'all heard of Moloch?
Oh man,
Maybe.
Don't look at this picture.
I mean, it didn't
No.
help.
That's Moloch.
that's Moloch. Okay, I've not seen or heard of that.
I think I might have, but I don't.
A bull house that's like got a baby. I've never seen that in
Fire
my life.
baby.
I've never seen that before. That is new to me.
So this is in the Bible. This is the god that people sacrifice babies to,
Oh man.
and we don't really have evidence for this, especially in the Levant. So the Phoenicians, which are like just north of Canaan, they do go through the Mediterranean. They create colonies, and eventually one of them becomes Carthage, becomes its own very powerful nation state. They did sacrifice babies. Maybe there's some evidence there. We're gonna get there, but I'll have the PowerPoint tell me. So Moloch, not a scary name, just means king.
Yeah.
So Lord King. Yeah, he's the false idol in the Bible. He might be associated with the golden calf.
I was going to say that. It sounds like the golden calf to me,
at the end of the Mount Sinai story.
which we know had lightsabers in it, thanks to the account of the IC.
And there was a torture device. that is associated with fire inside of a bowl. It's called the brazen bowl.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah,
I know about this.
It's where you lock a guy inside of a hollow cow made out of bronze and you light it on fire and the person burns alive.
The fun thing about it is they're in there like, ah, ah, but it has the some kind of horn in there.
Oh, yeah, the horn.
Clearly.
It makes it sound like cow.
It sounds like a cow. So they're just
Oh.
watching this cow mooing, but it's a guy in there burning to death. So
So I'm gonna put forth the idea that this is all bad reputation. He's not that bad, but there is like a torture device that may have been
That's
inspired.
just funny though, because like you could have just burned the person, but
I know.
you could have just put him on a stake. But no, you had to get bronze
no.
cow and make moose sounds.
Yeah, somebody said, you know what would be funny is if we found a way to turn the tortured screams of a dying person into mooing. And I think I know how we can do this. Let's build
Like that's
this.
hilarious, but also terrifying.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People were just sitting around thinking like, all right, how do we kill people we don't like? Okay, I got an idea.
The screaming's just kind of annoying.
Yeah, let's not put him a mistake. That's no.
Yeah, you
no.
know what sound I like hearing though is a cow
Cows.
mooing. So if we could convert one into the other, maybe.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Did we sacrifice infants to Moloch? So in Carthage, we did find some evidence of babies that were cremated inside of amphorods, clay pots, alongside the cremated bones of baby lambs. So were they sacrificed?
Smells like it. Spoilers.
Were
Back when
they
we were.
sacrificed? We don't actually know. I want to talk about infant mortality.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
babies be dying in the ancient worlds. Giving birth is very dangerous. And there is a very high likelihood that your children is going to die. So it makes sense to make a sacrifice to ensure that your next child lives.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does this mean literally killing your first child? I doubt it, because children were so
Yeah.
Yeah.
precious, like emotionally precious, but also
Well, what if you knew that the kid was going to die? Like you gave birth and you're like, this kid's it's not doing so well. It's not doing
kid's
so well.
weak.
We just
We gotta get this one. We gotta
get
nip it
rid
in
of
the
it
bud.
and then get the next one.
Just
I will,
rip off the band-aid. It's gonna die anyway.
I will say there is a symbolic sacrifice of the firstborn in the Bible.
Yeah.
So there's obviously Abraham and Isaac. Abraham tries to sacrifice his son, and God's like, wait,
I was
just
joking.
kidding. Yeah, I'm joking.
It's just a prank, bro.
I didn't think you actually would. Calm down.
You were loyal to a fault, man.
So in Exodus, it says, every first issue of the womb, every male firstling that your cattle drop shall be Yahweh's. And later on, it says, you must redeem every male firstborn among your children as well. So this is kind of also associated with the Passover. So one of the plagues of Egypt, when they were in Egypt, was God kills all the firstborns.
That's true.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This
That
could
makes
be
sense.
related to this very ancient sacrifice of the firstborn. And there's also the, I think it's still like a modern day Jewish ceremony where for your firstborn, usually male child, you would pay 5 shekels to like redeem them in place of sacrificing them.
So you're continuing
Okay.
the spirit of it, but nobody's getting their throat
I think
cut
so.
or anything.
Good.
That's better.
5 shekels is like $2. So it's
Okay.
very
A
symbolic.
small price to pay for salvation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's also about infant mortality. We don't know if the babies in Carthage were sacrificed. My theory is they could have been stillborn.
Okay.
Okay, I was thinking maybe like it had died, however it had died,
Yeah.
and it's already dead. So you're going to do some ceremony as like a funeral to say like,
Yes.
let the next one be better. That was the immediate thought that I had if
Yeah.
it wasn't a killing outright. But I could see the stillborn thing.
And the combination with the baby lamb could have been like the redemption part, like in place. Because in the Abraham and Isaac story, he uses a ram instead of sacrificing his son.
That's true.
So I think maybe like, I'm going to kill this lamb so the next one lives, please.
Yeah, that's an interesting connection because the lamb as a sacrifice thing goes on metaphorically all the way up to Christianity.
So if you were sacrificing a lamb, there's no reason to sacrifice the baby too.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. So Moloch gets a bad rap. There's no native sources. So the Philistines, the Carthaginians, they're not talking about Moloch. It exists. They worship Moloch, but they are not saying we sacrifice infants.
Okay.
All of that information is from outsiders, from like the Romans, from the Israelites.
Of course.
And
That's something you would say about people. Yeah.
Yeah, look what these people do.
They're awful. They murder babies.
Moloch is misunderstood. Justice for Moloch.
This is very, in medieval Europe, this is very much the Jews are poisoning the wells and drinking the blood of our children syndrome.
Blood libel. That's
Exactly,
a thing, yeah.
yes. Very much Romans thought the Christians were cannibals and doing incest because brothers and sisters in Christ, and we're drinking the body and blood of Christ. So it is just something people do to their enemies. They make up lies about them.
Propaganda is as old as speaking.
Yeah, so we believe this was the Israelites talking about the Canaanites. Just telling lies, maybe. It was an aniconic religion. I think this is so interesting. So unlike the Mesopotamian religion, which is this picture here with the star and moon pillars,
Okay.
they did not worship these disgusting idols. They worship things called Betel stones, which is this rock, this very insignificant, I think, beautiful rock.
Yeah.
It's a good looking rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
So these are, they come from the word Beth El, which means house of God. So God lives in this stone. And they're usually very big stones like steles or like a standing stone at Stonehenge. Those are standing stones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We got a nice picture of standing stones at Goodwill today.
did.
So we can show that at the end of this podcast.
Okay.
So we happened to encounter one and we
Yes.
bought it.
Yes.
Beautiful. And this is also in the Bible. So Jacob. Yeah, Jacob's ladder is the thing. Okay, yeah. So in that story, he wakes up from his dream and God or the angel tells him to build a stele there. So it's in the Bible. And fun fact, in Assassin's Creed Origins,
Okay.
which is the Assassin's Creed game based in ancient Egypt or Roman Egypt, I think it's the Thebes expansion, there's those cliffside tombs outside of town. In one of the tombs, they are worshiping a rock.
Oh no, this is it.
There's only one in this game. And I'm like, oh, no one else has seen this. I'm the only one who gets this.
And no one's mentioned it? Like you can't find a mention of it
find
online?
any mention. And I remember taking a screenshot. I should have put it in. But I was so stoked. I'm like, oh, they got
That's
all
what
of
this
them.
is, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely disgusting idols. This is what you're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
Rocks only.
Yes. And this little coin, it's actually Greek, but especially in, I want to say Petra, so the rock city in
Yeah,
Jordan.
Famous from Indiana Jones.
Exactly. They have little niches in the rock. Niches? Where a meteorite, I think, sat. And that was
Oh. Okay.
a little stone god.
They must have like seen meteorites fall from the sky and been like, that's a piece of God. or
Yeah,
it's from
that's
God.
cool.
I mean,
They thought it was cool.
I would believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, because the heavens are like literally above your head.
Yeah.
The underworld literally above your feet or
Something
below your
comes
feet.
down from the heavens, you're going to be like, ooh.
And these two pillars were found. This is the shrine where marijuana was found.
Oh.
So we think that these two pillars were steles representing God.
Yeah.
But who's the little one? Could be Asherah.
Uh-huh.
But this is a shrine to Yahweh. And there's little incense, the little thing for incense on top. And that's where the weed was found. We don't think they were smoking it. It was probably just incense. But there is, that's a really common thing priests do. Like they will inhale, not hallucinogenics, but.
Mind expanding
Yes.
somehow. Scents from herbs.
Exactly. So that's cool. That's Jeremy was talking about them finding weed in a Yahweh temple.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about Yahweh. So Yahweh is the name of the Abrahamic God. He is not Yahweh until the Mount Sinai story. So he is El throughout the Bible until that story. So he finally reveals his name. If you're a Jehovah's Witness, it's Jehovah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just 4 letters that mean is, was, will be. That's his name. So he is kind of an unnamed god as well. And he is considered from the south. So we think he might be an Edomite god. And that's why he shows up later in the Bible narrative. Because Moses stays with an Edomite family when he escapes from
perhaps
Egypt. Perhaps.
Exposed during this time.
Exactly. And we're not Judaism yet. We're Yahwehism. It's not monotheistic yet. It's monolatrism. So, like I said, we all got our mascot god, the god of our city. That's kind of you believe other gods exist, but this is the God you're worshiping.
Okay.
So you can like say there's other gods, but you're not going to be devoted to any of those. That
Absolutely.
would be very verboten, very
Yes.
like, oh no, that's the hometown team. You're for that. Here.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so Yahwehism does not like, he is just another Baal god of, what was the capital at the time? Samaria? Shiloh. So he was just the god of Shiloh. And he does not grow into importance until the Iron Age. And interesting thing, so Jacob in the Bible, he's the one who wrestles with an angel and his name is changed to Israel. Jacob has the theonym Yah in it. Israel has the theonym El in it.
That's true.
There's a
Okay.
change from, interestingly enough, backwards Yahweh to El.
So they were kind of wrestling if you think about it.
Oh my gosh.
That's what the wrestling is about.
What a deep take. I have nothing else to say about this. I just think it's interesting.
That's fascinating. What a small origin for the name of a very big god as we think of it today. Just another Baal to
Yeah.
top of the tops.
Oh, and this is a very famous inscription that kind of turned there's only one God in the Bible upside down. So this is an inscription that says Yahweh of Samaria and his Asherah. Why don't y'all tell me what's happening in this inscription?
Okay, we got to look at that. There is a bull. There's a cow of some kind. There's somebody sitting on some kind of like, it looks like a shopping cart, but it's got to be some kind of throwing thing. What's that person have in their hands? I
Can
can't
tell
even
with a
tell.
paper or if it's like an instrument.
Yeah.
That is exactly what the scholars say. They don't know if it's a harp or like a tapestry.
I was thinking tarp, yeah.
It looks
Harp,
almost like
yeah.
a zither to me, like the people that hold
Yeah,
those
maybe.
zithers and like strum them, but I have no idea.
But I guess it's a baby milking. Good
Yeah.
milk. Good guy live. That guy definitely has a penis, it looks
He
like.
does.
Kama Sutra looking stuff happening there.
So I thought this figure was Yahweh, and the obviously male figure next to it is Asherah. That is
Really?
not correct.
Okay.
So the part that's missing, that's where Yahweh and Asherah would have been.
Okay.
So these are not either of them.
No, and it's an Egyptian god that I know about, that I wrote a research paper on.
And you didn't notice in this
Emily,
picture. Oh
come
my
on.
God.
The god with his dick out, obviously. This is the
A lot
god.
of gods.
They're dick out all the time.
I know. But I just love Corona. Come on.
This is the god Bes. He is a household god. He's associated with like cooking and stuff, and
Housework.
like don't lose your left sock and protecting children sort of god.
Okay.
I don't know exactly why he's on here, but he's here for a good time. He's just
Yeah.
vibing.
Comes along to parties.
That
Everybody's
cow
like, oh, hey, it's him. Yeah.
Just looks like so shocked that that child is drinking
yeah.
milk from it.
This is also
Like, what are you doing? That's not.
yeah. I've never like actually like thought about it.
Yeah, the cow's face is totally like, hey. I do not
gosh.
consent.
You're not my child.
Whose kid is this?
This is a symbol like associated with like kingship, so make of that what you will.
Yeah.
Wow. So kingship is like the cow and the like baby cow milking it?
I guess, yeah. It all comes back to cows.
All right. Yeah, cows were important back then. Sacred cows.
So we're going to talk about the Baal cycle. I don't know if I want to try to do this from memory. I might. So this is the in the Bible. There's like a flat Earth. I know there's. So the Earth is flat, and this is the Greek version of it, but this is the Canaanite version of heaven, earth, and hell. So there's earth in the middle. The mountains are holding up heavens. If you go to the top of the mountains, you're going into heaven.
That's an interesting cosmology. I
Yes.
wouldn't have thought of it that way, but that makes it make a lot of sense.
And the sky is a firmament. Firmament?
That would be the word, right? Like a dome.
Yeah, a dome. Yeah. And beyond the dome is the home of the gods.
Okay.
So that's kind of the way a human can go to the top of a mountain and not get to the palace of the gods, because you have to cross the firmament.
They must have come up with that after somebody was like, well, I'm climbing that mountain. I'll tell you what I see. And he's like, hey, there's nothing up there, you idiots.
There's also probably like temples up there too, though.
Yeah.
And then down below, literally, there's the underworld, but there's also, especially in the Canaanite, there's waters above the earth in heaven and waters below the earth before going down to hell. Or not hell, it's just the underworld.
Yeah.
So there's an association with water and the underworld and death.
That sounds kind of Greek too, because there were rivers in the underworld.
Exactly. You have to cross a river in the Greek underworld.
Get the water underground.
So there's the royal palace in Ugarit, which is just north of Canaan. They found a whole bunch of texts. So this is where we get a bunch of our Canaanite knowledge from. And in one of the texts is the Baal cycle, which is like the Epic of Gilgamesh of the Canaanites. And I don't know if I should... Yeah, I'm going to just do this by memory. So
let's go.
El and Asherah are in their heavenly cloud kingdom on top of a mountain. And Asherah has all of her sons that are going to like become, Yam especially is going to become the god of the sea, become the next king after El. Baal comes in and says he's like an illegitimate child of El. So not the son of Asherah. Kind of like how Dionysus was not the son of Hera.
Right.
It all connects. So he comes in and says, no, I should be king. So Yam and Baal get into a huge fight. And Baal wins, mainly because his sister Anat, the bloodthirsty goddess, the warrior goddess, she is unstoppable. Mm-hmm. And in fact, she does not stop. She kills a bunch of people, like mortals. Wow. And Baal has to be like, hey.
Enough.
We're gonna let's have some wine at home. Okay.
Yeah. So this was not very Mormon, not democratic, not an election.
No.
This was good old fashioned tooth and claw.
Yeah, trial by combat sort of thing. Asherah is very scared that Baal is gonna get more power because she really wants her sons to be on the throne. So she orders. She really doesn't want Baal to build his temple on top of his mountain. He does anyways, but it's like exactly the description of the Temple of Solomon, which is very interesting. And yeah, what was it? Baal says he does not want windows in his palace because Asherah has it out for him and death comes through the windows.
Oh, that's like the mythology of the time, like the superstition.
Yeah.
Like, don't leave the window open.
Exactly. So he tells Kothar, the divine craftsman god, don't put any windows in. I don't want to die yet. But of course, Baal, he's king now. He's feeling confident. He's won some military victories and he's like, we can have windows now. So he puts windows in his beautiful palace. It's even more beautiful now. And he's so powerful now that his divine aura, all of his lightning and thunder cloud stuff, you can see like it shines out from the windows. And in the underworld, Mot, so like the Hades, he's like, no, we can't be having this. This is disrupting the order, and also you're disrupting my sleep. So he is the death that comes through the windows, and Baal has to die. But of course, he's a god, so death can't just take him. So Baal has to willingly go down to hell or the underworld. But before he does this, he has sex with a heifer 77 times.
Wow, 77. That is a lot.
Okay.
7 is like the god number, and like 77 is
number.
Extra god. Unfortunately, the fragment, it's a fragmented story, so we don't know why he slept with a heifer 77 times.
What a terrible page of history to be missing. Like, we need to know what happened here.
I know. And after this, he just like walks into the underworld, which is, you can get there physically, like through a cave in a mountain. You just keep going down further into the cave and you can get there. And it's really interesting. Like, I think it says like he walks like through the water into like, it's like a swampy place, which is really cool. But afterwards, something happens where it's not really Baal who went to the underworld. It's his son that he dressed up as himself or something. No. It was, so I think this kid, this son, who was born from the dalliance with the heifer, he dresses it up as himself. So Mot thinks, oh, that's Baal. I'm going to kill him. And while he's distracted, Baal goes into the underworld to fight Mot. And they fight and Baal wins. But he was disrupting the order of things. So Yam, the sea god, was the symbol of chaos. Baal is order. Order cannot triumph chaos. You have to have the ocean. You have to have the king. So that's a very common trope in the ancient Near East. The final boss battle, the hero versus the ocean. which is sometimes a dragon,
Yeah.
the chaos dragon. Yeah, the Yahweh separating Tiamat from the heavens. That's sort of also a hero versus the ocean motif. The Greeks versus Troy, although that's kind of swapped. The Greeks are coming from the ocean. Troy is on land. Sounds a little bit like the sea peoples.
Yeah, you can make that connection
That's true.
for sure.
True.
So that's my thesis statement. Like, I think this, because this motif just sort of pops up during the Bronze Age of a hero trying to destroy the ocean, an ocean creature.
Well, yeah, it makes sense to me that way because that's the most chaotic thing there is at the time, the ocean.
Exactly.
Like, you can't beat the ocean.
No.
If you go out on there, it's going to swallow you. So
Exactly.
if you're someone who could, you were the hero. I would totally buy that.
Exactly. Dare I say Odysseus crossing the ocean to get back home.
Yeah.
Odysseus versus Poseidon.
That
Dare I
ties,
say
right?
more?
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes itself
Yeah.
very clear.
So I think this motif of hero versus ocean is inspired by the sea people story. The sea people's coming from the ocean. And you need to defeat the sea peoples because the palace economy's not surviving. So you got to reassert yourself as the king who can defeat the sea and the sea peoples.
Man, this is like a great apocalypse story if you put it all together.
It's beautiful.
So everything collapses. Then these people start coming from the sea to try and take everything. You got to be the one that like rises up like Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
You got to be the king of this post-apocalyptic world and shoot these sea people and get them away. And
Exactly. Because society comes back.
Yeah.
Civilization comes back. So the Iron Age, all of these stories appear, like the Iliad, the Odyssey, the Baal cycle. So the kings have to come back on top.
so the stories like did you say they were from this time or they like carried through that time?
They're set during this time. But
Okay, so
they were all written down during the Iron Age.
So they were from a later time than this, but that was sort of the time they were writing about. Like,
Yeah.
let's tell the tales of what happened in this time we kind of can't
Exactly.
remember.
Exactly.
So it wasn't like these were older stories and they were like surviving through the collapse and everything.
They were probably, some version of them was probably existed before, but they were probably, the propaganda was probably solidified during the Iron Age.
Okay.
Yeah, because I could see it being almost like a bedtime story type things where people are like warning their children, like,
Just don't go into the ocean.
yeah, the kind of superstition would endure that way.
So that's my way. Oh, this is what I feel like I'm like.
Drawing these connections, like
Yeah.
creating these graphs. See, I love your PowerPoints because they always have these great graphics that explain everything, timelines and maps.
I love a
and
timeline.
all these demonstrations visually. Like, I need to step up my game with that. I can create this for Star Wars lore.
Have y'all seen those apocalyptic Christians on YouTube trying to calculate the end of the world?
Oh, I know there are people out there
I
trying
know
to
they
do
do,
that.
but I don't
yeah.
watch them. No.
Crazy. It does look like that meme of, I think it's Charlie from It's Always Sunny with like the
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
the
Connecting
conspiracy
everything.
board.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is. It's very conspiracy vibes, but I kind of love that for this
Yes.
kind of stuff because everything does connect.
All connects.
And as soon as you realize, like, okay, it's just stories people are telling and they're all, of course, going to cross over, it makes total sense. The thing about Viking horns blew my mind today. That was, I think, the thing that's like, I never would have thought. Maybe that comes from sea people instead of actual Vikings. Because they didn't have the horn helmets. Like, that's true. Vikings didn't. So where did it come from? Maybe these other Viking-esque people.
Yeah.
I'm just begging you to please go to grad school.
Yeah, do your thesis.
We
This
need it.
summer.
I'm begging you.
The world of academia needs
I
this.
know everything
already.
No, yeah, you need to do it.
If nothing else, the world of Assassin's Creed, the Assassin's Creed fandom needs to understand what you understand about that one Easter egg.
I gotta find that screenshot.
Yeah, because if no one has talked about this, clearly no one else has found it. Like we're breaking the news right here. This is breaking hot off the presses. Like we explained this part of the game.
Yeah.
And there's probably some developer of Assassin's Creed somewhere that's like
Yes.
shaking his fist in the air like, yes!
Finally.
Fist
Someone.
pump. Yeah.
But
that
you need
was-
to go to grad school.
Yeah. Moral of the story is go to grad school. But that was a lot of lore, a lot
a
of
lot.
very fascinating stuff.
I gotta say my catchphrase of I'm processing.
line.
I need to process.
We do need to process this.
Yeah. Was there anything confusing? Like I know everything about the Bronze Age, so I don't know what people don't know. So was there anything confusing that I need to
anything
clarify?
confused me.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot that fascinated me because I don't understand any of it, but now I have a very solid foundation, I think, understanding this sort of era, because I didn't really know about this. It's like a dark age before the more well-known dark age, where everything just kind of stopped. I mean, you hear a lot about the dark age that's called the dark age, where they stopped writing stuff down, and you had like Beowulf and stuff happening during that. But similar kind of thing with this Age of Heroes, Beowulfs of that time.
Yeah, I'm surprised more people don't know about the Bronze Age collapse.
Yeah, it's like not taught about in history or...
No, I only heard about it in art history classes.
Yeah, in college.
Yeah, it's like a term that I think I've heard, but I wouldn't have thought it was anything like this. I would have thought it was more just like, all right, that's how it transitioned over, not like it all ended, something killed it.
It's crazy.
And the really fascinating thing for me is just this history of Yahweh, El, like these gods that all seem to sort of like have merged and kind of got uplifted together into this modern concept of God that people think of when they hear the name Yahweh. But if you really trace the history, Yahweh was kind of small potatoes to start with.
I could do a PowerPoint on how Yahweh became the one true God.
Okay.
That would be fascinating.
Because that's kind of complicated.
Yeah.
So what I think about
I think
all the
a
time,
lot of your episodes are more complicated.
we expect complicated.
Yeah.
It's just like we live
That's
complicated.
That's why I don't have a lot to say. I have to process it.
Yeah. But the other thing that it makes me think of is I think Terry Pratchett, the author who did Discworld, I read a book of his once called Small Gods. And I think the way it was described in that book, because like in his universe, gods kind of have their own way of being.
Yeah.
But Terry Pratchett's concept of gods is like there's literally billions of them just in the air at any given time. Yeah. There could be one that's like the size of your fingernail, just kind of like hovering in the table right here. But as soon as somebody starts like venerating something, or like, I lost a lamb and I found it again, so I'm going to put a little like cairn of stones at the spot where I found it. The little fingernail-sized god that's there is like, oh, that's hey, that's good.
That's
you guys noticed me. And then as more people build onto it, like that god just grows and grows and grows until eventually you get one that's like so powerful everyone worships it. But it's about the amount of worship there is, the amount of people that have like found this thing that started small. So that's what this reminds me of. It's like somehow
Yahweh's very insignificant. Like Israelites were not the big people in town. They were not very powerful. So it's very interesting how he became the one true God of half the world.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, you could trace the entire history, starting with that to history all the way up to modern times. Like the things that had to have happened and yet did against all odds, like Roman Empire converts to Christianity, like big one. Rome did a lot of heavy lifting for Christianity. But the things that had to have happened that were probably very unlikely to the point where right now, like we live in this country that has so many damn Christians in it. Like it's really unbelievable if you think about it, like the unlikelihood of it.
So interesting.
Why are we not worshiping like the Roman pantheon?
You could.
There aren't politicians right now being like, we are a Roman nation founded by Hellenistic beliefs. Or, I don't know. History could have gone differently. You know, the Judeo-Christian belief, like sensibilities. What is like the Greco-Roman sensibilities? We could have had it. Got to keep those Greco-Roman values alive in our households. That was fascinating.
That's interesting. It's a lot. Information I gotta think about.
Yeah, we will be processing, and there will be plenty more PowerPoints to come, spinning off of this one and others. Yes, I'm sure. But everybody, I hope you enjoyed another fascinating deep dive into amazing history and mythology and connections to everything, because everything is connected, even to Star Wars. On the Space
it's the craziest one.
I made a Star Wars reference in this somewhere, so I can confirm it yet again. Yes. But until next time. Take care and tune in again.
Bye.
Bye.